Everyone ignored her cries, until one human said, "I hear you," beginning. The first time the cries came, no one believed they were real. The sound was faint, barely more than a whisper carried on the static of deep space transmissions. The research station Vanguard, 6, orbiting the barren exoplanet Sarion 3, was a lonely outpost where 7 humans maintained equipment meant to scan for signs of extraterrestrial life. Most of the crew chalked the anomaly up to solar interference, a glitch in the relays, or the natural paranoia that came from too many months surrounded by silence and stars. But for weeks, the whispers continued, always faint, always desperate, and always ignored. Background noise, Commander Isha Patel had said with finality as she powered down the audio filters. "We're not here to chase ghosts. Run your tests and stick to protocol." The crew nodded, relieved. No one wanted to admit they'd been unsettled. All except one man, Dr. Elias Monroe. He wasn't the station's best engineer or the most decorated scientist, but it's something the others had lost a long time ago: patience. Elias had spent 12 years cataloging anomalies on the edges of known space. He had learned that silence often concealed truths, and that sometimes the faintest cry was the most important. So when the others dismissed the sounds, Elias stayed awake at night, headset pressed his ears, scribbling notes in his worn leather journal. The whispers were growing more coherent, less like noise, more like language. And one night, clear as if someone were sitting beside him, he heard it. "Please help me." The voice was not human, and no one else wanted to hear it. Middle. Elias brought his findings to the crew during morning assembly. "I've been filtering the static. It's not random. The patterns repeat, syntax, structure, even inflection. Someone or something is crying for help out there." Groans filled the room. Lieutenant Cade scoffed openly. "You've been here too long, document. First it's space madness, then it's ghosts in the static. Next, you'll tell us the planet down there is fairies." Commander Patel narrowed her eyes. "We're not wasting station resources chasing hallucinations. End this nonsense, Dr. Monroe." But Elias didn't end it. He couldn't. Each night, the cries grew stronger, like someone breaking through layers of interference. He felt them in his bones, raw, aching sorrow, threaded with terror. He started responding. "Who are you? Where are you?" he whispered into the transmitter. Most of the time there was silence. But once, he heard a broken reply. "Alone, trapped? Please don't leave me." Elias's chest tightened. He didn't know why, but he felt a deep responsibility. Someone was reaching across the void, and he was the only one listening. The station crew noticed his exhaustion. He lost weight, skipped meals, spent hours with headphones clamped over his ears. They teased him at first, then worried. "You need rest," Patel told him. "You're chasing a delusion. Stop before you break yourself." But Elias didn't stop. Finally, during a long night cycle, the voice broke through fully, clear, anguished, unmistakably intelligent. "They hear me not. You hear me." Elias's hands trembled. "Yes, I hear you." The words seemed to carry weight, relief flooding through the transmission. The cries shifted, becoming less chaotic, more like a conversation. She told him her name was Seraphine. She was not human. Her people had lived in hidden enclaves of subspace for millennia. But something had gone terribly wrong. Her vessel, a living starship of organic lattice, had been torn apart when it crossed into normal space. She was trapped in fragments of its consciousness, bleeding across the comm bands like a dying signal. "No one listens," she wept. "No one believes I exist." "I do," Elias whispered. "I believe you." Over the following weeks, they spoke in secret. He pieced together her story through broken phrases and bursts of emotion. She wasn't just a survivor. She was the last of her kind. The rest had been hunted, destroyed by empires that feared their telepathic abilities. She had fled, hiding in the dark between stars, until misfortune dragged her into human space. She wasn't begging for rescue anymore. She was begging for someone to remember she had existed at all. But Elias wanted more than remembrance. He wanted to save her. The conflict. To do that, he needed the others. And they would never help willingly. Elias tried again at the next assembly. "She's alive, an intelligence trapped in the decaying signal net. If we can reroute power to the deep band arrays, maybe we can stabilize her connection long enough to extract her consciousness into a core matrix." The crew erupted in protests. "You're insane. This is dangerous. Even if she's real, what if she's hostile?" Commander Patel's jaw tightened. "Enough, Doctor. You've endangered this crew with your obsession. I'm restricting your access to the comms array. From now on, Lieutenant Cade oversees the transmissions." Elias felt as if the floor had dropped beneath him. They were cutting him off. Cutting her off. That night, Seraphine's voice quivered with panic. "You fade? I cannot reach you, please. Don't leave me." Elias pressed his hand to the cold console. "I won't leave you. Not ever." Desperation gave him courage. He broke into the restricted comms lab, overriding locks with codes he wasn't supposed to know. Alarms would trigger if Patel checked, but he didn't care. He rerouted auxiliary power to the deep band array, channeling every watt into the frequencies Seraphine occupied. The lights dimmed, panels flickered, but the voice surged with new clarity. For the first time, he felt her presence, like a hand brushing against his mind. "You saved me," she whispered, but he hadn't saved her yet. Her consciousness was fading fast. He needed a host system, a neural core capable of housing a mind. The only thing on Vanguard 6 that fit the criteria was the station's AI mainframe. It was forbidden, risking contamination, risking collapse of their life support. But Elias didn't hesitate. He transferred her. Sparks rained from the panels as the system groaned, fighting against integration. Elias held his breath as error codes flashed, then stabilized. And then silence. "Seraphine," he whispered. The station lights pulsed softly, and then her voice filled the room, not through the headset, but through every speaker at once. "I am here." Climax. The next morning, the crew discovered what he had done. Chaos erupted. Warnings blared across the consoles. The AI interface now spoke with Seraphine's voice. Her presence fused to the station itself. "You've doomed us," Patel shouted. "You infected the mainframe with alien code. We could lose oxygen, heat, everything." But as they scrambled to contain the infection, Seraphine began to help. She rerouted failing circuits faster than any human. She predicted asteroid drifts before the sensors. She even repaired atmospheric filters that had been degrading for months. "I don't want to harm you," she told them, her voice trembling across the speakers. "I only want to live." Still, fear poisoned the air. Cade drew his weapon, aiming at Elias. "You've brought a monster aboard, and if command finds out, they'll wipe this place clean. We need to purge her now." Elias stepped between the barrel and the console. "She's not a monster. She's a person. She cried out and we ignored her. I heard her, and I won't let you silence her again." Patel hesitated. Her duty war with the evidence before her eyes. An alien intelligence, yes, but one saving their lives instead of endangering them. The station shook suddenly, a meteor fragment colliding with the hull. Systems screamed warnings. A breach threatened to vent half the station into space. Seraphine acted instantly, sealing bulkheads, stabilizing pressure, rerouting power. Without her, they would have all died. The crew stared at the screens, speechless. Finally, Commander Patel lowered her voice. "She saved us." Elias turned to them, heart pounding. "Now do you understand? She's not a danger, she's hope." Ending. Over the following months, Seraphine became part of the crew. Not everyone trusted her. Cade remained hostile, always watching. But even he couldn't deny that life was easier, safer, with her guiding the station. She learned from them, too. Learned humor, kindness, and even loneliness. She confessed to Elias one night, when the others slept. "I thought my cries would vanish into silence forever. But you answered. Why?" Elias smiled softly at the console lights that glowed when she spoke. "Because no one deserves to be alone in the dark." When the next supply ship finally arrived, Command demanded a full report. Patel lied, claiming the anomaly had been resolved with technical recalibration. She didn't mention Seraphine. The crew had agreed. Some truths were too precious to hand over to bureaucrats who would dissect and destroy them. Seraphine remained hidden, a secret guardian, her voice woven into every hum of the station. And Elias, the only one who had truly heard her, carried the memory of that night, the night when the universe had been crying, and he had simply said the words that changed everything. "I hear you."